So hi, I'm Gillian Hunter and I'm a lecturer in cell and molecular biology for the Department of Biological and Biomedical Sciences at GCU, and I'm the departmental co-champion for sustainability with my colleague Yvonne Dempsey.
Hi there, I'm Yvonne Dempsey. I'm a lecturer in pharmacology at the Department of Biological and Biomedical Sciences at GCU, and I am also departmental co-champion for sustainability along with Gillian.
LEAF is the Laboratory Efficiency and Assessment Framework, and it is a framework that was developed by Martin Farley and his colleagues at University College London. So it's really important to have a system like LEAF because what it does is that it provides green standards for operating sustainably in laboratory settings. So what it does is it gives particular suggested actions that lab users might want to take so that they can save plastic, so that they can save water, energy and other resources. And if labs take part in LEAF, then what they can hopefully do is reduce their carbon emissions and they can create an environment that leads to improved research quality. So the LEAF framework, through the LEAF framework, you can work towards 3 particular awards. So these are bronze, silver and gold. And the level of award that you make depends on the number of changes that you make in your lab and the number of criteria that you've reached based on the framework. Here at GCU, we think that the LEAF project is really important and we've been trying to introduce sustainable changes to our labs. And this has been made possible because Yvonne and I applied for funding through a grant stream called the Strategy for Learning, which is an internal funding stream at GCU. And we were awarded funding which allowed us to employ 3 student interns over the summer. So Connor Cusack-McLean, Amy Campbell and Stefan Corradini were the 3 students that we employed. And over the summer, these students used the LEAF framework to identify criteria that we could easily work towards. The work that these students did included things like improving the signage that we had around the lab to basically encourage people to reduce their energy usage, to encourage them to correctly dispose of their waste. The students created standard operating procedures so that we could hopefully support the reproducible production of data. They were very keen on creating newsletters so that we could share the changes that we were making in the department and so that we could hopefully encourage more people within the department to get involved with our sustainability. And this has actually led to a new green group, which is a collaboration between staff and students that we've recently had. And this is hopefully going to drive our future projects. And then finally, we also worked on trying to make sure that our computing equipment was on timers. So this also helped to contribute towards the reduction of energy usage. And at the end of our summer project, we were really pleased because the students managed to hit enough criteria in our research labs so that they were awarded the Bronze LEAF Award. So they did really well. We were really proud of them.
So as well as being awarded the Bronze LEAF Awards, which is fantastic, we've also taken part in other key projects to improve the sustainability in our lab. So for example, we've increased the temperature of the -80 freezers by 10 degrees to -70. And annually, the LEAF calculators allow us to work out our annual savings, both in money and CO2. So annually, this will save around about £2,000, although with the price of energy now, it may well be way more than £2,000. And 2.7 tonnes of carbon dioxide, which is great. And research has shown that there's no detrimental effect to the samples by increasing the temperature of the -80s to -70. Now, Gillian and I also have an honours project student working on a sustainability project. That's Sam McNeil, and what Sam is going to do is create a resource that lists different sustainability initiatives that companies are undertaking. So, for example, we can get 96mm plates that are made from plant-based products rather than from plastic. So Sam's going to test those plates out. He is finding out what companies do, for example, refillable filter tip boxes, recycling of the PET tip boxes, all that sort of thing, and putting all that information together in one resource that we can share amongst the department. And he's also going to use qualitative methods, for example, questionnaires and focus groups, to investigate the attitudes of staff and students within the department to sustainability, and to see if he can find out if there's any barriers to us becoming more sustainable. And as well as, so that's one specific honours project, but we've also incorporated sustainability into all of our honours projects. And this is something that came up. We're accredited by the Royal Society of Biology, and at the last accreditation event, they asked us if we would consider highlighting sustainability within our curriculum. So the way that we've done this is all of our honours projects, students have to write just a short paragraph, a short reflective paragraph on sustainability related to their honours project. So we've done that. And the last thing that Gillian and I are doing is we have just started working with procurement on their net zero climate action plan. So this is really new to Gillian and I, but we're excited to be involved with this. And this net zero climate action plan acts as a means to record climate emission reduction plans to support as many supply chains as possible becoming net zero by 2030. Collaboration really has been central to driving these sustainability initiatives. So our department consists of academics, of research staff and of students, and we are very ably assisted by our colleagues in the technical team. So the colleagues in the technical team ensure the smooth running of all of our teaching labs and the smooth running of the research labs as well. They organise equipment servicing, they order consumables, they set up the teaching labs, they do a lot of the washing of the consumables. So from the early stages of us aiming for the Bronze Leaf Award, our summer interns consulted with the technical staff to ensure that they could carry out these changes appropriately and that it didn't have too much impact on the technical staff workload, because obviously that's important. It's all very well saying that you want to make things more sustainable, but if you don't have the staff to implement these changes, then it becomes more difficult. So we worked really hard alongside the technical team to ensure that we could make these changes in a way that was sustainable to their working practice and sustainable for our laboratories. And collaboration remains key as we move forward with our goal of continuing to improve sustainability. For example, we want to consolidate, and this is part of the Gold Award, is to consolidate the space used in our fridges and freezers and to know exactly what is in each freezer and fridge so that you can reduce the number of fridges and freezers. And you can imagine that's going to be a very difficult task, asking academics what is in the -80 freezers. And so we will really need to collaborate widely with everyone in the department to get that goal carried out. So it's going to require a lot of teamwork. But to aid this teamwork and the collegiality in this, we have generated newsletters, we've spoken at departmental forums, and we're trying to move forward and getting everybody on board with this. We're not just going ahead and making changes without asking everybody for their views first. And I have to say the views so far, the feedback has been incredibly positive, which is really heartening to see.
No, that's correct. Collaboration is really important for us to make these changes, and Yvonne and I are also part to try and help sustainability across GCU as a whole. Yvonne and I are also part of a GCU-wide sustainability forum. So this is a forum that includes 34 staff from throughout the university who all have an interest in sustainability and that are strategically placed to deliver the changes that could be made to help improve the university overall. So for example, we have members from the student communications team, we have the facilities services manager, head of security, head of campus services, head of procurement, which Yvonne had mentioned procurement earlier and how important that is, knowing the supply chain of the consumables that you're buying. The team also includes the Pro Vice-Chancellor and our very important members of the technical staff, as well as our academic staff. And we've had quite a number of meetings of these forums, and they're going to be used, and they have been used for exchanging ideas and best practice and to try and drive changes in sustainability across the university. So I know that we've spoken already at these forums and we've told the forum members about LEAF, and I know a number of other departments are already quite interested in finding out about how we've made changes in our department and how they might do it in their own.
So we're really excited to be nominated for a Points of Pride award for the sustainability work that we've carried out. The Points of Pride is something that GCU run annually, where staff and students can nominate other staff for, basically to promote the initiatives that staff are doing above and beyond their normal roles that are Points of Pride for GCU. So Professor Linda Scobie nominated us for this work because she felt that the work had had a really positive impact on the department. So the intern students, as Gillian had mentioned, that we had over the summer, Amy, Connor and Stefan, they done a fantastic job of highlighting the work that they were doing. They came along to departmental meetings, they done presentations, they had a couple of departmental newsletters, and the feedback we received was so positive. And actually on the back of that, lots of staff have told us about small changes that they've made to their everyday working practices. For example, thinking more about the plastics they're ordering for the labs, switching lights off in every room when they leave, switching computers off in lecture theatres after they finish giving a lecture. So, you know, it really seems to have started people thinking about the things that they can do in their daily lives that will lead to increased sustainability. So we're really encouraged to see that, and there's definitely been a shift in the department, and there's nobody that has put up any barriers to us doing any of this work. There was no negative feedback about the increase in the temperature of the -80s. So far everybody's been really willing to change their working practices to make them more sustainable, which is really great to see.
Want to continue working on improving our sustainable practices. So obviously in our research labs, we have managed to reach the Bronze Award, but we would like to try and reach the Bronze Award in our teaching lab spaces as well, and then also try to do some work to meet the criteria for the silver and then ultimately the gold awards. And these awards will basically demonstrate how much improved our lab spaces are in terms of sustainability, and it's going to help our department to reduce the amount of money that they spend. It's going to reduce the waste that we dispose of, and it will also reduce our emissions. But we also want to work on promoting or continuing to promote our sustainability and the practice of being more sustainable to all of our students, because as Yvonne said, being sustainable is part of our accreditation with the Royal Society for Biology. And I think students knowing more about this and getting involved in this is going to also hopefully help improve their future employability. And that's something that we hope the establishment of our green group will also help to work towards. So we have about 10 students currently involved in our green group, and we're going to meet every term to try and identify projects that we can work on so that we can not only improve the sustainability of the department, but give these students experience in working on these things. And in terms of the university as a whole, by doing the work that we're doing, hopefully we're going to help our university to reach its net zero target by working not only with our department, but with people throughout the university. So obviously Yvonne had mentioned about helping the procurement team. And overall, I guess that's also going to help the university meet the UN Sustainable Development Goals, for which sustainability is one of the key points for that as well. So there's a lot of next steps. It'll be baby steps to get there. I think it's a long-term project, but hopefully we're putting things in place now that are getting people interested and getting people motivated. And over the coming years, hopefully we'll start to hit some more of those criteria and start to be awarded the higher levels of award.